And so how do I teach people the more traditional subjects? How do I, in terms of math and history and social science and all of those things? And so what I said is, okay, we have this hook, which is, sports, but we also have, more importantly, we have the challenges that the colonized system, you know, applies pressure to us in terms of choosing what is intellect and what isn't. And so with Sports Genius, I said we have three things, three pieces that we look at. We look at the bard, the lyricist, and the ball player. And in this case, I'll pull from contemporary folks in that if you think about Denzel Washington as a character for Shakespeare,
Okay.
playing Othello, for example. And then you have Kendrick Lamar, who is the lyricist. And then you have someone like LeBron James, who is the ball player.
Okay.
All three of those people are using the same brain, but only one of them is told that they're intellectual. And that will be Denzel's character in terms of Shakespeare, typically because that's associated with white folks. But then I'd go back and I'd hear coaches, not for me, but for other athletes talking about, well, these guys are great athletes and all of these things, but they're not doing it in the classroom. And I would think to myself, well, how is it that they can manage all of these complex situations, complex phrases, terminology, and all of these things, and plays, and all of those things, and then not be able to translate that or transfer that to the classroom? I said, so there's a disconnect there that has to be closed. And so it's taken me a while, but I've come with a system that I believe closes that. And
Okay.
it was actually, so even just last summer, I had a white coach say to me, my athletes are struggling. And I said, well, how can they be struggling when they understand your playbook? They can do all of these things.
Yes,
So
yes.
something's missing.
Hmm.
And then I was able to do some work in our public schools, local public schools, and talking with the kids over the summer. I learned more from them than I think than they learned from me. And what I learned was that the students that I was working with in college, and I was ruining the fact that they came to me unprepared. And so what I said is, so when I worked with the high school students, what I really realized is that they were unprepared. And more importantly, that the system wasn't giving them the confidence that they needed to be successful in life, not just as a student, but to be successful in life.